Welcome back to the Rustic Road Rusty Challenger. I announced this build back in September at the first day of fall to begin my 4 seasons of model building, a series that I have decided that I want to try and do, possibly record every year. And this is going to be the first one that I do. The intention of this build is to finish it by the beginning of winter or shortly thereafter, so I'm able to announce my second build in my series for the winter season. Here I'm beginning the disassembly process of this old Challenger. This is a 1970 Dodge Challenger, and as we build this model, whether it be in this video or the next one, I will begin to introduce some of the facts about the car, production numbers, costs. But for right now, we're just going to focus on taking it apart. This is an older model that I built back when I was a kid, and over time it sat in a shed and collected dust, and it got moisture from sitting in a shed. So it's very dirty, and it's actually pretty well weathered for what are the purposes that I'm looking to do. Right here we're beginning to tear down the engine block a little bit because I want this car to look like a car that sat out in a barn, maybe not out under the trees, but had a little bit of a fender bender, sat out in the barn, collected dust over the years, but there's not a lot of tree branches or leaf litter in the car. Just overall collection of dirt and dust, sort of like what actually happened with the real model as it sat in my shed for the past 20 years. So I'm going to go ahead and take a seat out of it because, like I just mentioned, I want the car to look like it's been robbed of some parts and it had donated some of its previous glory to newer builds or car restorations, whatever might have happened with the old farmer that had the car. So as you noted a second or two ago, the steering wheel fell off when I was trying to get the seat out. And you see my tweezers get lifted up there. That's my little helper off to the side. We're beginning to learn to build models together. And so he's sitting right there next to me. So we're going to start to clip out the exhaust here because what I'm trying to do is break this car down to the point where it looks like it just rusted away over the years. It's been forgotten. Sad story, I know, but a lot of the times that's how some of these cars are found and restored and brought back to their original glory or a little bit past that, and they're modified out and sold at auctions, and they become very, very, very nicely done pieces of art is what I like to refer to them as. And you see them going down the road, or you go to car shows, and it's just at odd what the creator came up with. I'm going to continue to break down the exhaust here because the look I'm trying to achieve with this car is a look of a vehicle that sat in an old barn and was rained on. Had a dirt floor or a cement floor. Sometimes I think cement floors might be a little bit worse for cars, but I don't know because of the acid in the cement. But we're going to get some more of the exhaust out of there, and then we're going to move on to rotting out the I just noted here that some of the rear suspension is broke away, so I'm contemplating that. I'm not sure if I want the rear suspension to be broke away or if I want to reglue it. Ultimately, I ended up regluing it. And right here, if you watch closely, you'll see the fan of the engine blew up my sleeve. Later on, I have to get that out of there because it begins to bother me, and I didn't actually know where it went initially. So I'm trying to clip off the fan belt, the fan, and get the front of that engine worked down to the point where it looks like, once again, parts were either taken off or over years it dry rotted and lost its fan belt, and just a old relic that was forgot about. One of the things that I didn't know or plan on that ended up becoming a thing is dismantling a car for weathering it can be just as slow and methodical as building one up. We're almost there. We almost got the front looking to where I want it to look, so I can move on to the next phase of the teardown. This is actually the next phase, and what I'm doing here is I'm drilling out where the pistons would have went. Not really sure what the storyline is I'm looking to have with those, because I don't think you would have removed the pistons without removing the top of the engine completely. But I just left them out as hollowed out holes just to give the indication that there was pistons there at one time and now they're not. The other thing I'm doing is I'm drilling out the top of that carburetor for the six pack, the 6 barrel carburetor that car would have had. This was 440 engine block, and I'm trying to make it look authentic yet distressed. We're going to push away some of those shavings, and here we are with the floor. I start to drill out the floor here, and I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out. This takes an awful long time drilling it by hand. So at some point in the video, you're going to notice that I get out the old rigid power drill and we start drilling it with that. But overall, the process is going along nicely. I've never done this before. So there you see it. I've got some of the holes drilled in the floor. That took a ton of time right there. So as I drill and I clip away, I'm also learning. Right here, I'm clipping out the bigger portion that you see. I do rust out some of the other side as well. But I moved to sanding over time, and you'll see why I do that in the tail end of the video. Here we are with the drill. We got moving a little bit quicker now, and it's because of, like I said, it was taking a ton of time and my hand was cramping up. It doesn't take an awful lot of time, and I've drilled through all the portions I want to. One of the things I discovered here was I had to be careful because the drill went through so fast. I actually poked my fingers a couple times, and I didn't appreciate that. So I'm sanding out the floor a little bit here, trying to give it a more uh, realistic rusted look. Because right now it's just a rough cutout, and it looks like it's literally been drilled and clipped away instead of rusted and over time aged through the process. So this is actually a pretty loud process. I'm the only one home right now, because this took me a few days. I had to set up and tear down and set up and tear down. So the build process that you're watching right here is over the course of a fair amount of time. What I'm doing here is I'm heating up the hood and I'm pushing it in to make the car look like it got into a small accident. Didn't want it to look like a crazy high-speed accident, but maybe just one of the front corners of the car got pushed in a little bit. Or even, I guess, the old farmer, he could have pushed it inside the barn with his tractor and, you know, pushed it back that way as well. So I've got that piece of the floor removed. You just saw that. And I think we're going to move into taking the tires off here shortly. Yeah, there we go. So one of the tires broke off during this process, or during the process of me breaking down the rest of the car. So one of the things I was initially going to do was make it look like it had drum brakes and make the front look like it had disc, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with how the look of the car is coming along. And I think with the rust, I can achieve the look that I'm looking for, especially for my first go around with a distressed and rotted out car. So I've got some paints. I'll be doing a what did you buy Wednesday on the paints that I just picked up for this car for the rusting process. And you'll see as I go along how the car processes. I begin to clip along the rocker panels here, and at this point, I'm beginning to discover new ways of doing the aging process or doing the distressed process. You see me working at it there. We're quickly about to move into the sanding process, and I really like that look a whole lot better. If this is something you're interested in doing, I would recommend probably trying both. See what technique works better for you, and possibly you've done it before. You might have better techniques than even I've come up with in this early phase of this build or rebuild. So there you go. Got everything clipped away, and to me it's looking pretty good, but I think it's going to look a whole lot better in a minute here. So now I've got the file out, and I quickly discover how much I like this look. It's so much better than just the drilling and the clipping away. With the file, you can actually sand down the plastic and really begin to control the look of how you want the rust spots to come out. As you can see here, I've gotten more files out so I can begin to shape each of the rust pits and the rust holes, along with I got a nail file out. This is probably going to be the best tool that I use during this entire process because it's a 180, I think it's a 180 100 grit file, and it really assists me in sanding down the plastic very quickly. And it leaves uneven and like jagged spots where I have the drill points, and I'm able to sand it really paper thin and then begin to tear. I did want to try to cut one of the doors off, but what I'm ultimately going to end up doing is stopping because it's so thin. You can see how the car is flexing. I've sanded on it for a little bit, and it both inside and outside, and it's very thin at this point. So what I ultimately end up doing is just clipping the rocker panel portion off, and it overall comes out pretty good. You'll see toward the end of the video. So I work at it a little bit here. I was initially trying to do it with the handle of the knife because it does come with that blue and black handle you see off there to the left hand side, or my left hand side. But it really didn't give me the control I had with actually holding on to the blade. Now, I've seen a lot of modelers do that where they just hold the blade, especially when they're using those ultra thin Tamiya saws. I didn't really understand that until I tried using one myself. This is a brand new purchase for me, so I'll probably outline it on a What Did You Buy Wednesday at some point. And there you have it. I've really worked down. I've spent a lot of time. It's hours worth of work right there. We're probably looking at 4 or 5 hours of sanding, off and on throughout the day, taking breaks, doing stuff outside with the kids, and we went on a walk. I couldn't keep at it all the way through the day. It was very tedious, but you can see me tearing it, and it's such a to me it's such a rewarding look. It's the first model I've ever rusted out and distressed, so I'm not sure if I'm fully on the right track, but ultimately, in terms of my art expression and my capabilities for rusting out a model at this point, it feels pretty good to me. So I'm working with this technique and developing it for my final product and my final presentation. So I have posted photos of this build over on my Facebook page, Glastenbury Designs. It's the same exact name as the channel. If you want to go over and follow it, I would appreciate it. You can comment, you can give me tips, we can talk back and forth. I have had some feedback from the different postings from people that I know have much more experience in distressing a model and rusting them out than I do, and are probably significantly better at it. And I've had nothing but positive feedback. So I'm hoping I'm on the right track here and making this model look like it's an old car that's just sat around out back in the field and has lost some of its original glory. We're getting ready to come to the close on this video. I've done a ton of work on this car. I think I'm going to end up getting 3 videos out of this build. I did not plan on that. I thought it'd be a 2-part video series. But I'm working on the front fender portion right there, and I think I'm going to just call it good after this. Yeah, so there I am taking a look at it. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think we're ready to stop. We do a test fit of the body over the rest of the car, and I'm starting to get the visual in my mind of how this is going to look. I'm pretty happy with it. I've got some other ideas that just popped up. So we're going to go ahead and take the time to create those other parts of the vehicle and distress it out. And if you want to follow along, we're going to go ahead and post the second video up here pretty shortly, probably within a week, where we actually paint it, use the salt method. I'll leave a couple photos at the end of this, and I'll do a little bit of a photo montage of my progress through the beginning phases of this car right through to where we're at now. And like I said, we'll give you a teaser or two of the paint job that I did with it with the salt. Overall, I'm very happy with the progress of this car. I want to thank everyone who's followed along to the end. If you have, I appreciate it. I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, maybe give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and until we see each other again, everyone out there be safe, everyone be blessed. And thank you for watching.